In week 2, multiplication strategies, lesson 3, we're going to learn about the zero product property and the identity property of multiplication. The zero product property, which the definition is right here. You know that anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So 6 times 0 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. That is for the zero property of multiplication. The identity property is anything that is multiplied times 1. And anything multiplied times 1, we know is that number. So 4 times 1 is going to be 4, and 1 times 7 is 7. So on the try this, we're going to name the property shown in each problem. So you simply have to put if it's the zero product property or the identity property. So number 1 is 5 times 1 equals 5. And I know when it's multiplied by 1, that is going to be the identity property. Okay, and that's number, I'm going to put number 1 right there because I know it's hard to write in that small space. Number 2, 0 times 9 is 0. It has a 0 in there, so that is simply going to be the zero property of multiplication, and that's number 2. So I think this is pretty self-explanatory. If it's multiplied times 1, it's going to be the identity property. If it's multiplied times 0, it's going to be the zero property. For the practice, find each product by using the zero product property. So you simply just have to solve this multiplication problem. And we know anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So 5 times 0 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. On the next page, 11 through 14, you're going to use the identity property to find each product. So we know that 7 times 1 is going to be 7. 1 times 4 is going to be 4, and so on. Number 15, a company pays an hourly fee to use a special photocopy machine. If the company pays $12 per hour to use the machine, how much would it have to pay for no hours of use? And this one has a second question. How much would it pay for 1 hour of use? So there's going to be 2 separate multiplication problems here. So we know that we have $12, and it says how much would it have to pay for no hours? So that would be 0 hours. So that's going to be $12 times 0. And then how much would it pay for 1 hour of use? That's going to be $12 times 1. And you can solve those problems. And the reflect, I would like to look at this question right here. It says, what is the result when you simplify the following expression? Explain. So if you look at this big, long expression, I want you to see if you notice anything in there. So 5 times 8 times 2 times 9 times 10 times 1 times 4 times 7 times 2 times 0 times 5 times 8 times 3 times 1 times 6. So you look at this and you're like, wow, that is such a big problem to solve. But they sneak in this 0. So the answer to this equation is actually going to be 0, because anything that has 0 in it is going to be 0.